Imagine a company walks into a room with every major tech firm on Earth. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia. It sets a key on the table and says, "We found the lock to every door in the digital world. Every operating system, every web browser, flaws nobody knew existed, some hidden for decades." One bug sat inside OpenBSD for 27 years. OpenBSD, the system famous for being unhackable. The company doesn't sell the key. Instead, it hands out copies and says, "Go fix your doors." That company is Anthropic. The initiative is called Project Glasswing. And the model behind it, Claude Mythos Preview, will not be sold to the public. Anthropic says it is too dangerous. On the surface, this looks like the most generous corporate act of the decade. $100 million in free usage credits. Partnerships with over 50 organizations. Direct donations to open-source security groups. A race to patch the world's software before bad actors catch up. But generosity doesn't explain the whole picture. Not when the company offering the gift is worth $380 billion. Anthropic's valuation makes it larger than Goldman Sachs. Larger than Nike. Larger than most countries' sovereign wealth funds. In 4 years, the company has raised nearly $64 billion. Its revenue tells an even stranger story. At the end of 2025, annualized revenue sat at $9 billion. By April of this year, it crossed $30 billion. That is a threefold increase in 4 months. No enterprise software company has ever scaled that fast at that size. Now look at who funds it. Amazon has invested roughly $8 billion. Google has put in over $3 billion. Microsoft and Nvidia committed billions more. These same companies are also Anthropic's biggest customers. They run Claude on their cloud platforms: Amazon Bedrock, Google Vertex, Microsoft Azure Foundry. Money flows in as investment, then flows back as revenue through cloud consumption. Venture capitalist Bill Gurley once described this pattern bluntly. He called it a way to inflate your own revenue numbers. The FTC investigated similar arrangements. Amazon says it doesn't qualify. But the structure remains. Investors, customers, and distribution channels are the same companies. Project Glasswing launched on the same day Anthropic disclosed $30 billion in revenue. The same week, it announced a 3.5 gigawatt compute deal with Google and Broadcom. The altruism and the financial ambition arrived in the same press cycle. Consider what Glasswing actually creates. Every partner now depends on Anthropic's model to scan their systems. Apple needs it. Microsoft needs it. The Linux Foundation needs it. Whoever controls the tool that finds the vulnerabilities holds enormous leverage over the organizations that rely on it. Less than 1% of the thousands of bugs Mythos discovered have been patched so far. The volume of discoveries overwhelms every human triage team on Earth. That gap between finding and fixing is where the power concentrates. Only Anthropic's model can keep up with the pace of discovery. Cybersecurity stocks dropped between 5 and 11% after Glasswing was announced. CrowdStrike, Palo Alto Networks, Zscaler, SentinelOne. The market understood immediately. If an AI model can do what these companies sell, the economics of the entire industry shift. Anthropic operates in a peculiar political position. The Pentagon designated it a supply chain risk after it refused to let Claude be used for autonomous weapons. A federal judge called that designation unconstitutional. An appeals court partially disagreed. The legal battle continues. Meanwhile, no regulatory framework governs what a private company can do with a model that maps every vulnerability in the world's software. No government agency approved Glasswing. No oversight body reviewed its terms. Anthropic briefed officials at CISA and other agencies, but briefing is not oversight. The absence of regulation is not neutral. It means Anthropic sets its own rules for who gets access, how long they keep it, and what happens when the credits run out. After the free period, Mythos Preview will cost $25 per million input tokens and $125 per million output tokens. The philanthropic phase has an expiration date. Anthropic is reportedly preparing for an IPO as early as October. Banks are projecting a valuation between $400 and $500 billion. A raise exceeding $60 billion. That would make it one of the largest public offerings in history. Glasswing is perfect IPO positioning, a government-adjacent cybersecurity initiative with blue-chip partners. Proof that the company builds capabilities no one else can match. Revenue numbers that outpace every competitor, the safety narrative and the growth narrative reinforcing each other. None of this means Glasswing is cynical. The vulnerabilities are real. The urgency is real. Hostile actors will eventually build models with similar capabilities. Patching now matters, but the question remains, when the most important defensive tool in the digital economy belongs to a single private company, what exactly have we built? When that company's investors are also its customers, and its customers are also its distribution network, who does it actually answer to? If you found this worth thinking about, check out some of our other videos. For more economics, business, and finance, minus the boring parts, check out our other videos.